Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIV Job and Class Quests. I mean, you guys all know I'm gonna try and get through more of these. The schedule's relatively wide open right now. The only major release I'm waiting on that I know of in this month is Expedition 33, and that's much later. So, I don't know, I'll probably pick up one game and we'll alternate between that and this for a little while until, 33 comes out. I just gotta figure out which game I want. So for the time being, I figure I'll do at least one more of these as a solo run. Now, you guys all know which class I'm doing, but I don't. I gotta spin the wheel first. All right, I've pulled Dragoon off and we are ready to go. Give me a spin and hopefully it's something that I can actually play. What do we got? We got, ooh, one of the new ones, Viper. Okay, I'm down with that. Funny enough, this is gonna make this a rather short little thing because Viper only has, 10 levels worth of quests to go through. It's one of the newer classes, which means we're probably gonna go right into another class right after this one. But anyway, the first one, and the quest that basically gives you the Viper class, is hiding here in Ul'dah, the Worried Weaver, and enter the Viper. You're an adventurer, yes? There's a spot of bother over at the Weavers Guild, and we could use a hand sorting it out. We received an order for a full ensemble, but now that the work's been completed, the client refuses to pay. Mind you, I had my suspicions from the start. He calls himself a Viper of all things. In my experience, people who name themselves after snakes are not to be trusted. In any case, he carries a pair of swords on his back, just like you. Wait, you call yourself a Viper too, don't you? Oh shit! And I hate to think what would happen if he started wielding them in anger. Could you head to the guild and smooth things over? Okay, I can do that. Speak with the Viper outside the Weaver's Guild. Hello? Sir? Good evening to you, stranger. I was hoping I might make the acquaintance of someone a bit rough around the edges, someone who's seen his fair share of action. Could you tell me what prey's worth hunting in these here parts? Dude, this is a merchant city. You probably should go to Limsa for stuff like this.
Have you any idea what he's talking about? I took no issue with fulfilling his order, but now that it's time for him to pay, it's as though we're talking at cross purposes.
Likewise, I don't understand why this fella's being so difficult. All I'm asking for is the outfit I ordered in the name of some critters worth killing. I reiterate, you should have probably gone to Limsa for this sort of thing. But the man wants money for his outfit. Yes, and I want to kill things. Oh, right, I'm supposed to kill things for money. Then I can give him the money and I can get the outfit. Oh, it's so simple. Maybe I have to explain from the beginning. I'm from Tyrol, a big old continent on the other side of the salt west of here. I mean, that's not surprising. This was a Dawntrail class. You've been there, I reckon? Then you might have seen others who wield the dual blades, or vipers as we're traditionally known. Our duty is to hunt ferocious beasts that endanger the lives of innocent folk. In fact, that's what's brought me here. Thing is, all that fighting and long days on the road ain't been too kind to my gear. Reckoned it was high time I got me a new getup, bespoke and all.
Oh, fascinating, I'm sure, but why do you refuse to pay for your order? And why are you so insistent that I choose my prey?
But I thought that's how you were going to get me to pay for the order. Like, I'm literally giving you your choice of things you want dead.
Oh, well in that case, there is this merchant across the way who's given me quite a bit of bother.
Because how else am I supposed to pay you? Do us a favor and we'll hunt down any beast you want. That's the code. How we Vipers do business. My man, you need money here. Maybe I could cover it. It appears the Weaver's Guild doesn't need any fiends felled. Weavers prefer more conventional forms of compensation. Coinage. I know they have coinage in Tyrol, I've been there, my man. If that's so. So you're saying they want something else instead?
Payment commensurate with the skill and materials required. In guild, preferably.
Well, didn't see that one coming. Guess that explains our little misunderstanding.
Oh, but surely your countrymen trade in some sort of currency, yes? Or are you vipers so far removed from society as to be unaware of such concepts?
Well, now that you mention it, of course we know what money is. We ain't no bumpkins. But when it comes to requisitioning goods and services, I usually rely on the elders to deal with artisans and the like. Which is to say, I ain't in the habit of carrying significant sums.
So be it. If your only form of payment is the slaying of beasts, that shall have to do. As it happens, one of my colleagues in Eastern Thanalan reports that merchants carrying our supplies were attacked by a wild fiend. What's more, the creature is a species of many-headed scalekin, never before seen in this region. It's rumored to have escaped from the Colosseum and has been running rampant ever since.
Oh, a Hydra. Yeah, I can deal with that. Scaly. What a heads. Alright, you got yourself a deal.
Deal? Considering the guild has already fulfilled its end of the bargain, you should count yourself lucky. Still, I'd hate for anything to go awry at this juncture. Might I ask a favor of you, friend? I'd like you to accompany him and ensure that he attends to the creature as agreed. Besides, I dare say seeing a so-called viper at work will be an enlightening experience.
That it would. Oh, one other thing. I'm going to keep a running tally of all the nods through these series, but I'm also going to keep a separate total, basically for each separate job, just so we can have a compare and contrast at the very end. I mean, you know, as we go, and just see which class accumulates the most nods. The name's Keshwa. Pleasure to meet you.
The creature was last seen near Camp Drybone, so I advise you to begin there.
Camp Drybone, eh? Alright, I can do that. Been a while since I've been there. Brings back memories of Realm Reborn, right? So this is Camp Drybone, huh? Fitting name. Anyway, you ready to hunt? What's that look for? Oh, let me guess. You want to ask around first and see if anyone can point us in the right direction. No need. The Weaver's friend told me plenty. All we gotta do is track down the beast, which is a viper speciality. Oh. Well, I suppose you're going to get an opportunity to show off the class. I knew it was a Hydra. I went out to trade us carrying tailless materials. Bolts of cloth and whatnot don't sound none too tasty to me, so I'm guessing it's the merchants themselves the beast had its eye on. Well, eyes. Most predators use their sense of smell to pick out their meals. Scents carry on the wind, so you gotta consider the position of the rocks and plants to determine how the air tends to flow through an area. Ain't too hard to deduce when a critter's made its lair after you've done all that. It's like ranger training all of a sudden. Alright, show off your viper, buddy. Yep, that's a big one. Mean looking too. Must be wreaking havoc on the food chain. Never mind the danger it poses to locals. Well, time to do what a viper does best. And he goes right into the freaking ascension. I'm like, damn, I wish I could do that. Oh wait, I can! Yeah. Bad beastie. Well, that's that. So, you like the show? Don't play coy, I can see you're intrigued. But before I spill all my secrets, I got a question for you. Ever heard of a Vidraal? Yeah, actually I have. You have? Then you know they're a rare breed of beast that wields all sorts of powers they got no right having. A threat to every other living thing that has the temerity to breathe in their vicinity. Yeah, I've dealt with a couple of them at this point. Because of their long lifespans and unnatural abilities, they were dubbed the Tyrants of Tyrol. That's more or less what the name means. Anyway, someone's gotta hunt the Vidraal, and that someone is us, the Vipers. I'm down for a little Vidraal hunting. You know, I met a fair few adventurers during my time here, but I can tell you're a cut above the rest. Might even have what it takes to be a viper. There we are. If you're interested, I can teach you, on one condition. You'll help me hunt down a Vidraal that's made its way to Eorzea. What do you say? I say, lay it on me. If you tell me there's a monster around Eorzea, I'm hunting the thing regardless. Ha! Hell of a thing to ask out of the blue, I know. Just think on it some, will you? Let's head on back to Uldar and tell the Weaver fellow we're square. The journey will give you time to consider my offer. There we are. I was wondering where my nod was. He's even wearing, I just realized he's even wearing the artifact armor for Viper. I just gave our Weaver friend the good news, and he's handed over this set of fancy duds as promised. Gotta say, it was worth the trouble. So, about my offer. You ready to become a Viper to protect folks from the nastiest beasts that ever lived? Do you wish to become a Viper? Yes! A mighty fine answer. I'll make a Viper of you, just see if I don't. First order of business, let me give you this here soul crystal. It contains knowledge of our fighting arts passed down since ancient times from one generation of Vipers to the next. Assuming you've got the knack for it, our skills can be yours too. You know, it's always handy that people can just, you know, give me a soul crystal and boom, I'm a new job. I've also got a fresh set of Viper gear for you. The Weavers Guild wanted to thank you for overseeing our hunt earlier, so they made you your very own outfit. Guess that fellow took your measurements by eye or something. I'm pretty sure they already had them, but sure. Oh, and the blades are a couple of spares I had handy. Try it all on for size and let me get a look at you while you're at it. Yeah, I'm gonna say no to that part. I'm gonna stick with what I've got on me. Because my stuff is significantly better. And just like that, I'm a Viper. You know, I was already a Viper, but still. My Anima's so happy. Fangs of the Viper, the other level 80 quest. Well, you sure look the part. But do you feel anything from the soul crystal yet? Oh, believe me, I have plenty of experience with this sort of thing. I knew it. Sounds like you've got what it takes to be a Viper. But the only way to know for sure is to put them new skills to the test. For that, we'll need prey. From what I hear, you adventurers have got your own guild, so I'm guessing the folks there will know the best spots for hunting. Let's go see what they can tell us. Ah, here we are. Sir, do you have any big nasty monsters that I could go punch in the face with some new swords? If you're after deadly predators, try spying this basin. Lately there have been sightings of heretofore unknown species. Those that slaughter anything that moves, including travelers. What's worse, they work in packs. Even the adventurers hired to cull them ended up making a sticky end. Huh. That sounds like the perfect thing for a budding Viper to play with. What is he doing? You got a lead already? Maybe there's something to this whole asking around thing after all. Well, what were you doing? Screaming at him. Critters not from around these parts, you say? Either they got chased out of their usual habitat, or they were brung here. Either way, that's bad news for folks unfortunate enough to cross paths with them. The hunting of Vidraal is the Viper's most important duty, but that doesn't mean we turn a blind eye to lesser threats. Next stop, Spineless Basin. See you, brat. What? He has no tact when I'm in control of him. Oh dear. Multiple someones have been through the wars here. These here adventurers ran into a whole gaggle of the fiends we're after. They got pretty roughed up, but I sorted their wounds already, don't you worry. Before we go say hello to the troublemakers, I reckon I ought to teach you about the Viper's dual blades. Our techniques were created for the sole purpose of killing Vidraal. Most of them mean a variety of things you might encounter in the wild, often with special powers to boot. To stand a chance against these powerful enemies, our ancestors looked to Vipers for inspiration, always twisting and turning to find the perfect angle of attack to take down bigger prey. 2 blades, for the twin fangs of a Viper, to wield in tandem and strike with precision. They can also be combined into a single weapon that weaves and sways like the body of a snake. By switching between these stances, the Viper has the capacity to adapt to any situation. Now, the prey we're after today ain't nowhere near as fearsome as a Vidraal, but they'll give you a chance to test out your new skills. Let me know when you're ready. You have learned all Viper actions and traits to level 80. Well, I've got 20 extra levels on top of that, but sure. The base we're chasing supposedly work in packs. My gut tells me there's a whole bunch of them over by that big old tree there. Alright, let's go. This is pretty common for the newer classes where they'll give you a duty calls at the beginning to basically teach you how the class plays. All he sees is fodder, huh? So these first ones are usually a little, you know, hand-holdy. I'll stay out of your way and give you a few pointers, okay? Like I said, this will be a little bit of a teaching one. Let me know when you're ready. Oh, I'm ready. Come on, let me loose. Come on, let me loose. Let's start with the basics. There are 2 stances, Dual Fang and Viper. Dual Fang means wielding your 2 blades separately, Start by using either Steel Fangs or Reaving Fangs and press the attack. To finish the sequence, switch back to Viper and hit him with Death Rattle. After using the Dual Fang weapon skills, Steel Fang or Reaving Fangs, their icons will change to the next action in the combo. By performing a second, then a third attack, you will gain access to the Viper stance action Death Rattle, which is basically the little off GCD you get to weave between your ABC combo. If you have Serpent's Tail assigned to your hotbar, the action will automatically change to Death Rattle when it becomes available. Which you really should have Serpent's Tail. So I need a Death Rattle, huh? Shouldn't be a problem. Just go a 1, 2, a 3, and a 4! And work my way through the crowd. Oh, you're gonna make me talk to him again. Alright, fine. Like I said, hand-holdy. Time to practice your dual fang techniques. Start with an opener, follow up with a second, then pick one of the 4 finishes. Flank Sting Strike, flanks Bane Fang. Hind Sting Strike, or Hind's Bane Fang. As you can tell by the names, each finisher works best from a certain position. But don't worry about that for now, just give them all a try. The 4 combo enders are those that we've just talked about. Using a combo ender applies a bonus effect to the others. Then using a second attack with the highlighted icon will give access to one of the enhanced combo enders. Now try performing each of the 4 combo enders. I have to use them all. Hopefully without running out of monsters. There's 2 of them out of the way. Yeah, I might run out of monsters here. Hopefully you guys start respawning. So the only one left is Flank Sting Strike, which is, conveniently enough, the one that's lit up. Alright, come on. I'm waiting for this guy to come back over here. Or they could, that works too. That roar just now, almost like it was telling him to clear out. Time for the big one, I imagine. I reckon there's a big old bastard waiting in the wings, and now it's sent us tougher opposition. Oh yeah, that's a little better. Lucky for you, I got just to think about dealing with lummoxes like them. I'll tell you about it when you're ready. I'm ready now, come on, give it to me. Alright, now for Viper Stance, where you combine your 2 blades into one to deliver powerful strikes. Perfect for tough opponents like this. Open with Vice Winder, then transition with either Twin Fang Bite or Twin Blood Bite from Dual Fang Stance. The Viper Stance weapon skill can be followed by Hunter's Coil or Swiftskin's Coil. Either of these secondary attacks allows the use of the Dual Fang Stance weapons Twin Fang Bite and Twin Blood Bite. Basically, it's these over here, the Vice Winder and the Vice Pit. These are the big double blade attacks. This gives you one of the Swiftskins, which gives you 2 off GCDs to play with. Boom. Problem solved. We done now? Oh. Big Nasty wants to come play himself now, I think. That roar's getting closer. Boss Beast must be pissed that its minions keep getting beat. And that we're using them for a tutorial fight. And there it is. Well, don't keep me in suspense, come on. Time to take it down to Pega 3. Just remember what you're dealing with here. It ain't no pushover like the rest. Oh, I'm not worried. Still, you got all the tools you need at your disposal. And then some. Show it what a Viper can do. I'm trying. You won't let me off the leash. Alright, let's go in. As always, I always want to use anything that's got cooldowns first. There we go. Now we can just go into the basics. Buddy, your aim needs a little work. I'm over here. Where are you aiming? All too easy, sir. All too easy. Ah, one of my big ones came back up. Thank you. And I don't have any of my really fancy skills yet, not for, well, not for a good while. Just keep wailing on him. He's barely doing anything to me, it's hilarious how sad this is. I mean, I know it's the tutorial fight, it's just, can you get your bread and butter combos off? And I'm like, yes, yes I can, quite handily. There, that wasn't too difficult. Not bad, not bad at all. Those were just the basics, but your execution was mighty impressive. Since you've proven you won't be a liability, let me tell you about the Vidraal we're up against. We call it Iksuk Jamanj. I can... Zamanjun, okay. It's an offshoot of the Brox, a deadly jungle predator, and after a series of mutations, this one's grown huge wings. Worse yet, it's smart as a whip, and has a mean streak a malm wide. After learning of the beast, me and my most promising students set off to slay it. Facing it head-on seemed like suicide, so we laid an ambush. Almost worked, too. Almost. Let me guess, Ed's student ended up in its gullet. We thought we'd had it subdued and made our approach to deliver the killing blow, but we'd underestimated the fiend's cunning nature. When we got close, it lashed out, lightning quick, before taking to the skies. I cradled my brother in arms as he breathed his last. Oof. Let me guess, it's his soul crystal you just handed me. And now I'm your new apprentice. Revenge is all I've been able to think about ever since. I traveled the length and breadth of Vidraal looking for that beast, with nothing to show for it but a half-dozen pairs of ruined boots. With each passing day, I grew more and more desperate. And then you found out it winged its way over here. That was until I met some folks who'd crossed the salt on a trade ship from Uldar. They'd claimed they'd seen a huge winged creature flying eastwards over the ocean. Knowing how clever Iksuk Samanj is, I reckoned it gone in search of new hunting grounds, somewhere without an established threat like us Vipers. So I brought passage on a ship, and here I am. Little did I know Eorzea would be damn near as big as Vidraal. I'm a fish out of water, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Or that I'm gonna need all the help I can get. That's where you come in. With you on my side, I might just stand a chance of avenging my fallen comrade. What do you say? I'm in, man. Gopher of Light at your service. Thanks, that means a lot. Let's get back to Uldar and see if we can't find some clues to Iksuk Samanj's whereabouts. Ah, the sun is shining back in Uldar. As you saw at the Weavers Guild, chatting up folks ain't my strong suit. If you're happy to take the lead, I'm happy to follow. At least for now. Think you could ask the locals if they spotted any strange creatures flying around? As for me, I'll study your technique. See if I can't brush up on my social graces and whatnot. Alright, a follow quest. Yeah, I know how the follow quests work, thank you. Interestingly, it's a rather short one because he's just right here. Sir, have you seen any strange flying beasties that should not look like they have wings? A flying beast? Why, yes, late. We've had sightings of such a creature. More and more each day. We're looking into it ourselves, but there's been no reported attacks, nor can I provide a more detailed description. As such, I can't say if it's the same one you're after. Huh. Interesting. Also, talk spot. Discuss the hunt. Yeah, when I was on the ship here, I heard about this hunt your local company seemed to be running. We got a system like that back in Vidraal too, mainly for dealing with the Vidraal. Naturally, the bulk of the work was handled by Vipers, but ever since the Dawn Servant came to power, the scope's been expanded to cover a wider range of threats. These days, pretty much anyone can take on jobs, and there's no shortage of them all over. If you haven't Vidraal, maybe you ought to give it a try. It's not a bad idea. You know, it's always nice to just have some extra way of getting experience, and the hunts aren't bad. They're not great, mind you, but they're not bad. Discuss the crowds of Uldar. Whole lot of people here. We got cities of our own back in Vidraal, but this is something else. You know, to become a Viper, traditionally you've got to live in this remote village in the mountains, where you learn all you can about the habits of various beasties. Ain't much else to do out there, so anytime you get to yourself, you're expected to spend honing your skills. Once training's done, you're free to roam where you please. There ain't many Tyrol Vidraal that need hunting, but they can spring up pretty much anywhere in Tyrol, so many say it's good to keep it on the move. Me though, I chose to stick around even after I finished my training. Gave me a chance to work on my swordsmanship, and instead of going out looking for work, folks came straight to us asking for help. That's how I got complacent and fell into the habit of letting my elders and students do all the talking and negotiating with outsiders. Even my passage here was arranged by an acquaintance. Come on, man. I know social skills are a pain in the butt, but you do have to, work at them a little bit. Sir, have you seen any strange flying beasties?
What? A winged creature? Ah, well, I've only heard the rumors. They say it has 12 faces ringed with red wriggling tentacles, and it shoots beams of light from its eyes. Of course, it's all too common for those with more money and sense to bring in bizarre species from distant lands. And the trouble with rumors is that they grow even more fanciful with each retelling. See, I added the laser beam bit. The last guy didn't have that.
Well, damned if I know how you did it, but you and your silver tongue got some useful information out of folks. Even if none of it amounted to a solid lead, the knowledge that Ixoxumanj hasn't kicked up a proper fuss yet is a clue in and of itself. I reckon it's taking its time to get the lie of the land, having only just arrived here after all. Alright, now I've seen a master at work. I'm gonna try my hand at talking to the locals. Oh dear. Now, don't get ahead of yourself. The best way to learn is by doing and failing. Couldn't agree more. Besides, I faced meaner foes than a few tight-lipped city folk. And if I make a fool of myself, so what? I'll just ask someone else. And I'll kill the first one just to be sure. And it just so happens I brought with me a whole bunch of herbs and knickknacks from back home that I can sell to keep myself fed. Might take a while to find any solid leads, but at least I can get by for the time being. Well, if nothing else, herbs and knickknacks they'll have plenty of around here too. Who are you?
So those are the ones who slew my pets. Interlope is on the hunt for my next darling prize. Little do they know it's lost interest in Thanalan. Just as well. Its fickle nature may yet bring us greater delights.
Oh, don't tell me they actually had the Passage of the Unbound in these quests. Oh, that would be a hell of a kick. I'll be doing my damnedest to get more information. Might take a while though, so come see me later. And don't forget to practice your Viper techniques. Oh, don't worry, I've already honed my Viper to its pinnacle right now, sir. Next, Viper in the Vidraal Shadow. Good to see you, Dekumon. After a lot of asking around, I dug up some new leads on Ixoxumanj. Or at least I think I did. Wasn't easy though. At first, the only stalls of interest were about Gridanian poachers dealing in so-called exotic meats, juveniles. In other words, too young and too dead to be what we're after. That detour notwithstanding, there were a few other tidbits that might be useful. I got my own thoughts on the matter, but I want to hear yours too. That's alright. Sure. Come on. Much obliged. So I hear an adventurer came across a whole bunch of strikingly beautiful red feathers just outside of town. They ended up giving them to some kids who've been playing with them ever since. More to the point, there was talk of a huge beast with glowing blue eyes flying off towards a place called the Black Shroud. Red feathers, blue eyes, put the two together and it sounds an awful lot like Ixoxumanj. Seems it's had enough of Thanalan and picked the Shroud as its new stamping ground. But what's your take on it all? It's a promising lead. We'd be fools not to look into it. Yeah, it is a promising lead. And the Shroud is teeming with things for the frickin' beastie to eat. I knew you'd agree. After the amount of mystery meat I had to sample just to squeeze information out of those butchers at the market. I'm glad it all paid off. As for our next move, I reckon we ought to take an airship to Gridania. From what I hear, a fellow by the name of Gavin over at the Adder's Nest should be able to tell us more. I'll meet you there. You can take the airship. I'll fly express. Hey Gavin, long time no see. How might I help? I'm after a Tyrol Vidraal. I'm searching for this dangerous creature that's come over from another continent. Oh, I'm sure they have plenty of, dangerous beasties around here. This is the Black Shroud after all. Just gotta find one that matches our description. Well, I see. As it happens, I'm aware of a beast that matches the description of this Ixoxumanj. I can't pronounce that at all. No, trust me, nobody can. scout smoker with the blue eyes and red wings, and of its aggressive nature leading it to attack any who dare approach. So it really is here in the Shroud, and up to no good already. Thankfully, there have been no deaths so far, but it's only a matter of time before a merchant or adventurer becomes the first. I believe Ixokshamonj came here in search of new territory. Thanalan wasn't to its liking, and now it's testing out the Shroud. Well, it would appear so. I'll tell the other adders that you're pursuing the beast, and to lend what assistance they can. I assume that's alright with you. Yes, sir. The more the merrier. Slaying the bastard's what matters, and I ain't too proud to accept help when it's offered. So, where was it last seen? In the South Shroud. Once you get there, head for Quarry Mill and look for Lieutenant Goliath. He's leading the search. South Shroud. Good old Palace of the Dead territory. Here we are. You must be Kethwas and Dekumon. The Adder's Nest sent word to expect you both. I'm Goliath, the officer in charge of this operation. This is Innocent Stork, who's provided us with vital information. A merchant in her employ spotted the beast on the way back from Uldar. Wait a minute. You're the one we saw in the last cutscene. She's also taken the liberty of assembling a team of experts to assist in tracking the target. At no small expense, I might add. But compared to the losses my business would suffer were the creature allowed to roam free, I deemed it a worthy investment. As our goals are aligned, perhaps you wish to join my experts in the field, If so, you'll find them near Roots Lake. I'm sure you'll get along swimmingly. I didn't think that was a nod. Looks like we're late to the party. Let's go hear what they have to say. Yeah, sure. Oh, there's a bit of a crowd here.
Fresh meat for the hunt, eh? Order came down to let you tag along, but don't get underfoot. We're looking for signs of the creature so our naturalist can predict its movements. We'll then lay traps where it's expected to appear.
Got themselves a proper plan, don't they? Seeing as they're being so accommodating, we may as well join the search. Dude, I thought for half a second you were riding my chocobo Keshwa. Oh, alright. Search for signs, and we got 3 spots to search. One of them is right down here. Hello, hello. Is there anything of interest here? The dung appears to be that of an enormous beast. Judging by its dry appearance and muted odor, it was excreted some time ago. Lovely. Because I clearly needed that level of information. Alright, what's this one gonna be? More poo, perhaps? The dung exudes a foul odor. The lingering warmth indicates it was recently deposited. Oh, so that's how this is gonna go. Oh! Okay, at least this one's not poop. This one's pre-poop. These creatures bear the marks of enormous claws on their hindquarters, suggesting they were struck down as they attempted to flee. Okay, yeah, so why are we going down south then? I should be going further north. Clearly that's where this creature is, not over here. Sure. Oh, more prey. Well, this thing's just making a mess everywhere. Found me a few signs of activity. How about you? Oh, more than a couple. Corpses of grazing animals gouged by monstrous claws. Same here. The size and depth of the wounds are consistent with how Ixokshamonj hunts. And just like back in Tyrol, it's killing not just to eat, but also to mark its territory, to show anyone and everyone who's boss. Speaking of boss, god damn, that's a lot of bodies.
There you are. Managed to sniff anything out?
Yes, sir. Aside from a couple of dunghills, we got some dead wildlife. Most likely the work of Ixokshamonj. I reckon it's close, somewhere north of the swamp. We came to the same conclusion. The predator makes no attempts to cover its tracks. Clearly it has survived so long by virtue of its immense proportions and in spite of its diminished intelligence. Oh, quite the opposite. You've got it all wrong. It left those tracks on purpose, to see how we'd react. Are you saying the beast is testing us? That's absurd.
The level of foresight and cunning required to even attempt to do so is far beyond these lesser beings. As for the corpses it left behind, those animals will not have been to its taste. I suggest using fresh cuts of prime livestock as bait. The bloodier the better. Once the creature has been enticed, surrounding and subduing it is but a formality.
Hate to break it to you, but Iksuk Zamanj is way too clever to fall for that. You're gonna need every trick in the book, and then some.
Oh, rest assured, I've considered every eventuality.
Except for the one where the beast is smarter than you, clearly.
And even if there was merit or advice, I will not let it be said that our success was the product of anyone's genius but mine and mine alone.
What difference does it make who came up with what?
A monetary difference. Innocent Stork offers better rewards based on performance.
Of course she does.
Oi, don't even think about trying to steal our thunder. We're the ones who will bring her Iksuk, whatever its name is, not you.
Listen, we're trained to fight large predators like these. If you've got any sense, you'll let us take the lead.
Yeah, no deal. And put our lives in the hands of complete strangers? What the not? There's no place in our strategy for you, so stand aside and await further instructions.
Alright, man, what do you want on your tombstone? Fine, have it your way. If you're half the hunters you think you are, Iksuk Zumanj is as good as dead, right? I'm gonna be picking up the pieces of this team, and Ix is gonna be picking them out of its teeth. Come on, Dekumon, let's leave him to it. Nothing good ever came from working with people you can't trust. Even I know that. Joy.
Yeah, then it's decided. You two will wait at the southern end of the lower paths. Be ready to give chase in case the beast escapes us. Not that it will.
The music is not, foreboding at all here. You all gonna die. Every last one of you. Alright, let's see how this goes. I imagine this is going to be both terrifying and hilarious in equal measures. Any day now. Any day now, thank you. Sometimes those wait times are just ridiculously long and they shouldn't be. Awful quiet, don't you think? You hear that? Mm-hmm, I did. That must be one of the hunting party. It came from the north. Let's move. I knew it, I knew it. Dumb idiots. The length of these quests, I may end up having to do this in 2 episodes after all. Nope. No surprise there. Damn fools. I know it hurts, but please, tell us what happened.
It was watching us. The whole time. That fresh lamb should draw the target out of hiding. Though, if I lace it with the toxin I brought, success is practically guaranteed.
Toxin? We were explicitly told not to kill the beast in case you'd forgotten.
Of course not. It can be used as a sedative. Highly potent, but only lethal if applied in excess.
Told not to kill it, huh?
If you lack the stomach for it, I'll do it myself. Naturally, my personal contributions will be detailed in the final report to ensure credit is given where due.
What the hell's you playing at? If it catches wind, the plan's ruined.
Shouldn't we go after them? No, it'll only make things worse. If that bookworm wants to stick his neck out for a few gil more, I say let him.
What? No, no. Ah! Dead.
Soon to be dead. Oh, he's a big little boy.
Gods have mercy, there it is! Stay calm. Nothing's changed, except the bait. How's that chance?
Except the bait, huh? You know, that thing don't look too happy to see y'all. It's like, god damn it. More of you idiots. Ah! And he ran like a little bitch. Oh my goodness.
They were screaming. I ran, but I could still hear. You were right. It knew. It knew!
Should have listened. Instead, now we've got a whole dead adventuring party on our hands. No surprise there.
Joshua,
Dekumon,
by the 12, what happened here?
idiots happened here. Okay? Idiots. People that don't listen to the experts. The hunters became the hunted. As I knew they would. Seriously, these people don't listen to anything. I shall see that their remains are recovered and the necessary rites performed. Perhaps you'd be so kind as to return to Quarry Mill and share these unfortunate tidings with innocent Stork. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got a few choice words for her about that whole capture this thing alive. I mean, I'm at about the 50-minute mark and we're just on the first... What are we still? We're still in the first half here.
I'd anticipated casualties, but it was a massacre.
Ixot Shaman's grown bolder. Before it only hunted animals, lone travelers, prey it knew it could handle with ease. Its past brushes with death taught it to be cautious. That's probably why it fled Vidraal in the first place, too. But it just outwitted a group of armed hunters. Granted, they were nitwits, but still. Instead of running away from trouble, the beast went looking for it. This was sport, a game. It was having fun. And now that it's had a taste, it's only going to want more.
Oh, my poor judgment invited this tragedy. I must make amends. Please, allow me to assist you in pursuing the creature. Even without a team of experts at my disposal, I believe my network of contacts will prove useful in gathering vital information.
Keep the freelancers out of it and leave the hunting to us. We'd be grateful for information, but we'll take care of the rest. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind info, but keep the small timers out of the way.
Understood. I place my faith in your abilities as Vipers.
Appreciated, ma'am. If you turn up any leads, be sure to let us know.
I'd best return to the Adder's Nest and deliver my report. It's imperative we inform the populace of the threat posed by Ixok Sumanj. Might I ask that you use Quarry Mill as your temporary base of operations? Knowing where to find you will make it easier to coordinate our efforts.
Suits me fine. Besides, I got plenty to do here, like learn about this neck of the woods and the critters and whatnot. But while I have you, there's one thing I want to ask. How did the twin adders get their name?
Oh. I beg your pardon. What does that have to do with Ixok Shumanj?
Nothing really. It's just that us Vipers based our fighting arts on snakes, so they're near and dear to our hearts. Might even say we got a reverence for them.
Oh, is that so? I suppose we also feel a kinship toward snakes. The name Twin Adders comes from the pair of white snakes on the Gridanian standard, though that imagery predates the city-state's founding. There's more I could tell you, though I fear other matters must take precedence.
With a history as long as that, we'd be here talking till the Packers come home. I'd love to hear more about it, but I understand it'll have to wait. Oh, I'm sure we can get some time in between quests. I'd best get to learning what I can about Ixok Sumanj. While I see to that, maybe you ought to squeeze in some more training. Sure. Don't worry, it'll only take me a couple seconds. And a double nod, even. Alright, get out of here, you three. I got another quest to start. I don't know, maybe the others will be a little shorter, we'll see. Vipers on the hunt. I had a bad feeling when I woke up this morning, and sure enough, Eorzea has struck again. Goliath and Innocent Stalk are trying to narrow down where it will appear next based on the reports, but so far they've come up empty. I hear Goliath is over at Folgord Fort talking to witnesses. Let's go see what he's learned. Trying to sneak a nod in under the quest accepted too. Sheesh. Getting a little cheeky there, game.
Thank you for coming. I expect Keshwak has shared some of the details, but it's even worse than we thought. Eorzea grows increasingly bold, with deadly consequences. For a blessing, the people here remain calm, though we must act quickly to avoid widespread panic. The Adders have called upon anyone with information to share, and asked that they gather here. As we requested that any detail be reported, no matter how small, we find ourselves somewhat inundated. I'm certain, however, that among the accounts are clues vital to locating our quarry.
We can help with that. All we're gonna do is ask folks around here what they've seen, right?
Ah, yes, that would be most helpful. Perhaps you could start near the Aetherite, while Dekumon asks those over by the bobbing cork.
I'm gonna come back and he's just basically trying to intimidate somebody into talking. Alright, sir, seen anything?
I was passing through the North Shroud when I saw a frightful creature with immense red wings. It's a little too far away to see clearly, but it seemed to be battling a group of smaller beasts, which it probably slaughtered before flying away. Didn't even collect the bodies or nothing.
Yeah, that sounds like him. I see. Third one's probably upstairs.
While passing through, I heard that some fiend was on the rampage over in the East Shroud. I didn't think much of it at first, but when I saw all the people coming from that direction and the looks on their faces, I decided to stay put. Good thing I did too, or I might have died.
East Shroud, eh? Can deal with that.
Oh, I saw it! Flying over the Central Shroud! With each flap of its massive wings came a powerful wind, bearing the scent of blood. So noxious and suffocating. It was all I could do not to vomit where I stood.
That's interesting. So one person said East Shroud and one said Central Shroud. Eeks is expanding his territory here. Everyone's got a story to share, but nothing seems to point where Eorzea might strike next. You do any better? Sort of. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of locations. North, East, and Central Shroud, huh? The folks I asked said it was in the south. I tell you, it must be trying to make the whole damn forest its territory. Hold on now. One of the guys I talked to was in the East Shroud. Your witness said the beast was on the rampage, but mine said he never saw Eorzea, even though they should have been there at the same time. That's worth looking into, don't you think? You might be onto something there. Doesn't feel like much, but it's early. No, that's a something, sir. That's a legit something. I'm not saying it is the answer, but you never know where a trail like that'll take till you follow it. We'll have to go chat up that fellow again. I'll take you to him. Somebody lying to us? Yeah, this guy says composed. Interesting.
As I said before, I was traversing the East Shroud on an errand, when I heard what sounded like the flapping of enormous wings. A moment later, I saw a wounded animal charging through the brush. It was then I recalled the rumors of a monstrosity on the loose, realized I was in terrible danger, and ran for my life. So the critter was hurt, but still able to make an escape. But the only way it could have gone away from Eorzea is if the bastard chose to let it go. Meanwhile, our friend here was close enough to hear the wings flapping, yet lived to tell the tale. An adventurer traveling alone would have been easy pickings. So why'd Eorzea spare him? He did something that no other adventurer had done before? He was carrying something that none of the others had, maybe. I like that. All I had on me was some bottled potions and ethers. Ah, but there was one other thing. I carry a potpourri filled with Gerbanian wildgrass. An Alamegan custom, in case you're unaware. Huh. That's got to be it. Goliath will want to hear about this. We might have a way to ward it off. Interesting. Alright, Goliath, let's get some information together. Could you wait here a moment? Keshko has asked me to verify a theory of his. I shan't be long. Okay. It's exactly as you surmised. Most of those who've seen Ixoxumanj and lived to tell the tale are Alamegan adventurers.
I knew it. It's got to be that fragrance. It has no idea what to do with it. A lot of animals have a powerful sense of smell, and Ixoxumanj is no exception, which makes it that much more sensitive to odors that it doesn't care for. I reckon the beast can't stand the wild grass in those potpourris. It's a potent fragrance, a lot like another kind of grass we got back in Tyrol.
Come to think of it,
Ixoxumanj never went anywhere near that grass while it was growing.
if one man's meat is another's poison, perhaps the same can be said for aromas.
Exactly. And now that we know what Ixoxumanj can't stomach, we can use this information to drive it where we want it to. You think it might catch on to that, though, considering how smart it is.
Then, it would behoove me to share our discovery with Innocent Stork. Given the information and contacts at her disposal, I dare say she'll help us find a way to utilize the fragrance to its maximum potential.
I dare say you're right. In the meantime, we'll head over to Girabanya and pick us some wild grass.
Yes, by all means. We must do everything in our power to avert further tragedy. Many of the adventurers gathered here are so terrified of encountering Ixoxumanj that they're considering abandoning the profession entirely. Several are yet fledglings. If they had to contend with a foe far beyond their reckoning, they'd die before gaining enough experience to even be considered adventurers. The thought of their bright futures being snatched away like that is almost more than I can bear.
Granted, you'd think the veterans would, be able to handle something like this, but sure.
But this is the very reason I joined the Twin Adders, to prevent such senseless deaths. Therefore, I humbly request your cooperation in slaying the dread Ixoxumanj.
No need. I had every intention of putting the bastard in the dirt anyway. Same.
See? To the matter at hand then. A few moments ago, one of the adventurers mentioned that the wild grass we seek grows abundantly at Pike Falls. Once you've collected enough, let us rendezvous at Quarry Mill. I must warn you, though, that Girabanya is home to some particularly vicious wildlife. Be on your guard.
I mean, compared to here, yes. Compared to what I've been through, not even close. Here we are. Wild grass. Just gotta scoop up 3 of these and we'll be good to go. Oh, hey. Random monster pops up because I picked wild grass. Sure, why not? So you're an 85. I'm not really concerned about you at all. Funny enough, that was the only time I got attacked. The other 2 were perfectly clean. Well, here we are, Keshwa. Plenty of wild grass. That'll do it. As much as I'd love to stick around and study the wildlife here, we'd better get back to Quarry Mill. And turn this one in. Alright, I got him.
You've done well to gather so much wild grass. As promised, I've called upon Innocent Stork to advise us on our next steps. I've placed an order with an alchemist acquaintance for custom-made diffuser pouches, which we may employ to spread the aroma over a wide area while prolonging its potency. We will issue these pouches to Twin Adder units tasked with driving the beast into an isolated location of our choosing.
Away from civilians and an ideal spot for a final showdown. That's good thinking.
Oh, indeed. Once the pouches have been produced, the beast is as good as ours. Well, mine in any case. If I may, there is a further request I wish to make. Rather than slaying Ixoxumanj outright, would you instead be able to capture it alive?
Huh. I didn't think she'd be so brazen with this.
The better to understand its behavior, of course. Such knowledge will prove invaluable should predators of a similar nature trouble us in the future.
He's like, no way. That's a risk we can't afford to take, ma'am. Those hunters of yours tried baiting it with a carcass laced with sedatives, but Ixoxumanj saw right through their plan. It's demonstrated a degree of cunning to rival any man's. Even if we did capture it, it's only a matter of time before it would escape and kill again. There's only one way you can deal with a monstrosity like that. You slay it first chance you get. No half measures, no hesitation.
Oh, pooh. I was hoping to have it as a pet. Then we are left with no other choice. Oh, pray forgive me for making such an ill-considered suggestion. I shall abandon all thoughts of capturing the beast, and instead turn my attention to the procurement of the diffuser pouches. You will hear from me soon.
Yeah, the smirk there says otherwise, ma'am. 100%. I like her. You're an idiot sometimes. She ought to know by now what we're up against. Why even ask? Innocent Stork can't be trusted. She's got her own angle. Yeah, I don't trust her. Not one bit. Not one bit. She'll get the pouches, but I'm sure she'll cause trouble. Ugh, I ain't the type to guess at folks' motivations. Wish you'd do us all a favor and put our cards on the table.
The rich and powerful are rarely so obliging.
That's true enough. Yeah, you got that right. But since us salt of the earth are speaking our minds, there's a fear in you, but of what I can't tell. Guilt for your thoughts. Never know, I might be able to help.
He knows something about Stork. Well, after talking with all those adventurers, I can't help but feel a little scared of Ixuk-Sumanj, that's all. Anyway, I should return to Gatonia to make my report.
Oh no, it's definitely Stork he's scared of. Folks always saying one thing but meaning another. Just when I was starting to believe I'd gotten the hang of polite conversation too. Ain't no force in the issue, I know. If Goliath has something to say, he'll say it when he's good and ready. So, now we keep weight on those pouches, and who knows how long that'll be. I'll keep an eye on things here, so I recommend you go get ready to face Ixuk-Sumanj. I'm more than ready now, but again, we gotta wait for the next couple quests. Speaking of, 88 please, into the Viper Pit. Goliath sent word that the diffuser pouches are ready. He's heading on over now. Once he arrives, we can finally put this plan into action. But what's gonna hold us up to stop us from doing it on this quest and not the next one is the real question. Also, I saw that nod.
The pouches have been distributed among the twin adders, along with instructions on correct handling. You see, according to the alchemist who made them, the aroma of the wildgrass dulls the senses. For the average person, this would do little more than soothe the nerves, but to a creature with a heightened sense of smell, the effect would be far more pronounced.
Huh.
As for where we will entrap Ixuk-Sumanj, an innocent Stork has proposed a location in the Dravanian hinterlands that she believes is ideal. The surrounding area is largely uninhabited, and Idleshire, the only settlement nearby, is relatively simple to defend. We have already consulted with the Ishgardians, and they gave us their blessing to proceed.
Huh. Well, that's all well and good, but by the look on your face, you're not. I ain't gonna press, but I will suggest that once we get to Dravania, you best hang back and leave the fighting to us.
Is that all it is? He's just scared? You know full well I'm keeping things from you, yet you still show concern for my well-being. Why?
Just my way, I suppose. All the way I was trained as a Viper. It's our job to keep folks safe from creatures that go against the natural order. Doesn't matter who you are or whose side you're on. Politics, feuds, all that drama, ain't none of that our concern. I'll admit, I've got my doubts about you, but you're still someone I need to protect from Ixuk-Sumanj. Simple as that.
There's something you need to know. Out in Western Queth, this is... Well. As I thought, you've yet to depart from Quarry Mill. What's keeping you?
I knew it had something to do with Stork.
Lieutenant Goliath, whatever is the matter? You look like someone just walked over your grave. I'm glad to find the two of you in better spirits, though. Seeing as our friend is somewhere under the weather, perhaps it's best he stays behind with me in Idleshire.
No objections here, but Goliath and I were having a heart-to-heart, if you don't mind, so shoo.
I do, actually. We have a schedule to keep, and I must insist our dear Vipers get underway. While you are en route to the Dravanian hinterlands, I would be happy to lend an ear to Goliath and his troubles.
He's gonna end up dead before we see him again.
You needn't worry yourselves. it's of no import. I wish you both good hunting.
Maybe I should go by the Western Highlands before we get to the hinterlands. What do you think?
Talk about shit timing.
True enough. For better or for worse, we'll find out what he was holding back soon enough. Anyway, we got a Vidraal to slay. Alright, this is the place. No sign of Ixuk, which gives us time to pick a good spot for an ambush. Let me know what you find. I can drop him in the goblins. That'd be funny. Alright, first spot to check. While this location offers a commanding view of the area, it does not offer enough space to fight to your full potential. Fair. What about here? Kind of the same problem. This cramped conditions offer only a limited field of vision, and combat would doubtless prove difficult. Something tells me this isn't the right spot either. Although the view is obstructed by the wall, you should be able to remain concealed easily. You have surveyed a number of locations, each varying in sustainability. Keshko will be able to hear your report. I'm sure he will. I found something you ain't gonna believe. You smell that? It's got to be one of Innocent Stokes' diffuser pouches. Somebody must have hidden it nearby. With a bag of wildgrass taking up the place, there's no way Ixuk was ever gonna show up here. Goliath and Innocent Stoke sent us on a wild alpaca chase. So where's our Vidraal if it ain't here? Quarthus Western Highlands. Damned if I know, but at least it's yeah. Right where Gorius said it was gonna be. Ah, so that's what Goliath was trying to tell us. At least until he was cut off. With any luck, that clue will lead us to Innocent Stoke. She's probably still plotting to capture Ixuk alive, the stubborn fool. Alright, this should be funny. You know, I have expected a duty calls. No sign of our tricksters or Ixuk. We best keep searching. Ah, I see. Haven't found the real spot yet. Or we're gonna roll up after the fact and Ix just gonna fly off. That would be more likely. Alright. Where is somebody? There they are. Oh. Oh! They got it? Holy crap, they got it. How the hell did they manage that? I'm legit impressed. Of course, now they have to worry about it breaking out.
Well, if it isn't our esteemed Vipers, who with all their supposed skill and intellect asserted that capturing the great Ixuk was nigh impossible, or perhaps he was simply afraid. As you can see, I proved equal to the task. All it took was a little ingenuity.
I understand Ixuk cunning and cruelty better than anyone. There's no way you got into that cage without... Oh, goddammit. Wait, where's your bodyguard? Ooh.
You yourself observed how attempting to lure Ixuk with obvious bait ended in failure. But a beast is still a beast, a predator that is compelled to hunt. Casualties are inevitable, and a prudent strategy must account for them. An exceptional one, however, would leverage this element to its advantage, as mine did.
She sacrificed her own bodyguard to get him in that cage.
You ordered him to put sedatives in his pocket and face Ixuk alone. It was over before it began. His screams still ring in my ears.
Sick bitch. So you fed Ixuk the sedatives, and your bodyguard along with them? You're telling me he willingly offered himself up?
Oh no. Enthusiastically even. All to ensure his plague-stricken family received treatment, the duration of which would be determined by his performance. He all but leapt into the beast's maw. As I'm sure Goliath would agree, there's no limit to what we can accomplish when given the appropriate incentive.
I reiterate, sick bitch. Seriously! Why go to such despicable lengths to capture this thing? You finally showed your true colors. Yeah, why? I want to know the why, seriously. The hell do you want this thing for? Oh, please. Everyone's getting what they wanted, so let's not quibble over the details. As a gesture of goodwill, I'll even answer your question, rudely asked though it was. Everyone has their own unique proclivities, and I am no exception. I have awoken to the thrill of bringing rare and ferocious beasts onto my power. Oh, but that only whets my appetite for the true pleasure when I unleash my pets upon worthy opponents to enact scenes of glorious carnage. Oh my god, she wants it for cockfights. I've met my share of monsters, but none of them compare to you. A monster and a fool. That there's a Tyrol Vidraal. The moment you open that cage, it's gonna rip you to shreds. Oh, indeed it would, if it were so inclined. But if Ixuk-Sumanj is as intelligent as bloodthirsty as you say, it will soon learn that I can provide a constant supply of worthy prey. In return, it will accept me as its master. I highly doubt that. More likely he'll play along until he gets a chance and then he will skewer you. It's awake? He's like, that's right, bitch. Fire blast, now! The hell did that thing come from? I grow tired of this place. One of my lesser pets should be more than adequate to dispose of you. After all, I am loath to release Ixuk-Sumanj while it remains subdued. And though I may not be watching, do try to put on a good show regardless. I reiterate, are we sure this isn't tied to the Passage of the Unbound? Because she looks like she would fit right in. Oh, hang on, I'll deal with this thing first. Shouldn't be a problem. And off they go. Alright, time to wreck this thing. Just go right to the dragon install. It didn't even make it through the frickin' dragon install. Come on, Keshwa, stand up. It's no time to be lying around. We gotta go catch us a beastie. Oh, crap. Hang on, there we go. Thanks, I owe you. God damn it, I can't believe someone would be so stupid enough to try taming of a Vidraal. Never mind Ixuk-Sumanj himself. But what really sticks in my craw is that Goliath has been dancing to Innocent Stork's tune. And there I was thinking he needed our help. He does. She must be manipulating him. He seemed afraid of her like before, yeah. He ain't doing this 100% willingly. Oh, you're right. There's more to this than meets the eye. Anyway, no point freezing our asses off here. Let's get back to Quarry Mill to think things over. Alright, knock this one out. One thing I know for certain is that Ixuk-Sumanj ain't gonna play the obedient pet for long. Innocent Stork's gonna find that out the hard way. But I reckon that'll be after she gets the urge to indulge in her twisted appetites. I'll do what I can to suss out where she got to before then. Then there's Goliath. The twin adders need to know what he's been up to, and that he's still alive. For now, at least. You'd best get back to your training for now. Cage to knock Ixuk-Sumanj's out there, and our job ain't done till it's dead. That's very true. Alright, the last quest. Vengeance of the Viper. Since the last time we spoke 3 seconds ago, the twin adders have been looking for Goliath, but they ain't found hide nor hair of him. Meanwhile, there's been plenty of Ixuk-Sumanj sightings. Seems Innocent Stork's eager to put her new pet to work. I expect that's why Goliath's commanding officer asked for our help. Let's head to the adder's nest and hear what he has to say. Oh boy, they're gonna brand him a traitor. Alright, back to the adders. Where's the CEO at? Ah, there he is.
It's good to finally meet you both. Goliath spoke highly of you and your contributions to our hunt for Ixuxumanj.
Speaking of which, you got information for us, right?
We've received multiple eyewitness reports of a creature surpassing even the most elite of marks. It dispatches its victims swiftly before flying away.
That innocent stork's direction, I'll wager. She's setting Ixuxumanj loose to kill for her own amusement.
Those slain were mostly roaming adventurers, but the circumstances of each attack suggest an escalation. The beast is striking in broad daylight and closer to more populated settlements each time. The risk of a massacre grows greater by the day. There is another matter I wish to discuss, which may shed some light on the situation. We have received a letter from Goliath.
Ooh. Well, come on, don't keep us in suspense here.
Though details are sparse, he wishes to resign from the Twin Adders. The letter also includes a message for the two of you. Do you recall our discussion in Southern Thanalan? Though my aspirations were beyond me, I pray that you succeed in fulfilling your own.
I remember, Goliath. You wanted to prevent those with bright futures from dying before their time. That's why you joined the Twin Adders. Wait, we heard that talk in the Shroud, not Thanalan. And he mentions our aspirations, which is to protect people from rampaging beasts. Don't you see? He's telling us that Ixuxumanj going to appear in Southern Thanalan next. Aha! Good on you, Goliath.
A hidden message, albeit not a particularly well-hidden one. If innocent Stork read this, she would have surely divined his intent. I can only surmise that she knew and allowed the letter to be sent regardless. What better way to lure you into a confrontation with Ixuxumanj than by taking advantage of Goliath's sincere plea for help?
Oh. Well, we'd have to fight the thing regardless, so... Trap or not, a confrontation suits me fine. If it's a show she wants, then we're happy to oblige.
Oh, indeedy. As for the where, she doubtless wishes to avoid attracting the attention of the Immortal Flames and the Amalja. The Sangoli Desert like us not. I will send word to Uldar, but in the meantime, I wish you every success.
Oh, a fight in the desert, that's never a pleasant time. At least it's easier than in Wilds. Aha. There's the duty calls I was expecting. Another carcass. This was Ixuxumanj's work. Didn't expect the trail to be this easy to pick up, but perhaps I should have. All that's left now is to walk straight into the trap. No viper worth their salt ever shied away from danger, am I right?
No, you are not.
Level 90, huh? So I think I don't have Dragon installed. I think that was the level 100 stills. Oh, lovely. That looks like a riding beast. God damn it. Goliath, no!
Such grace, such power, magnificence itself given form, worthy of awe. Alas, these mediocre distractions are a poor canvas for your art.
It's over, innocent stork.
On the contrary, the main attraction is just beginning.
Dang it, poor Goliath. Goliath, what have you done to him?
After his childish trick with the coded letter, I decided to let Ixuxumanj punish him. An appetizer, if you will.
Well, I'm gonna put this bitch in the ground. All the money and the privilege in the world, and this is how you choose to use it. Killing for the sake of killing. You're no better than a Vidraal, a monster that deserves to die.
A flattering comparison, though you seem to be forgetting the literal monster that stands before you. Ixuxumanj, I brought you fresh prey.
And he's like, bitch, you brought me vipers. I don't like vipers. They're stringy. Fine. Oh, I haven't forgotten about you. A coward through and through, I knew, but one I thought had some pride. Guess I was wrong. It's time. Ixuxumanj is ours. And after that, we'll skewer us a stork. I would have laughed if he would just shook his head like, nope, and left. Alright, defeat Ixuxumanj. Sure. Let's go for it. I do have the dragon install guard. Interesting. Oh, I don't have the legacies though. Do I? Nope. I have the generation skills, so I don't have the legacy, and I don't have the follow-up. That smell. Oh, he's learned some new tricks. Is that what it is? But I have a dragon install to play with. Some underhand tactic. What's going on here? Well, that's gonna rotate. I'm being very cheeky, dipping in and out here. I'm full of these, that's the trick. Something's wrong with it. Oh, it's got the stink in it. Elias, you little genius. You had it on you, didn't you? One of those freaking things is here.
Is this all you're capable of? Are you not satisfied with the prey I have provided? You'll have all that you want and more, but only if you obey. Kill them! Kill them now, I demand it!
This ain't the Ixuxumanj I know, and I reckon innocent Stork is the reason why. I can smell the wild grass on her. A less potent mixture than the one we doled out before. Just enough to keep Ixuxumanj at arm's length. But even that's too much for the Vidraal's senses. That's why it's addled and can't think straight. Ah. Even so, she's made a fool's bet. Ixuxumanj's only tolerated innocent Stork and her shenanigans to sate its own bloodlust. Two apex predators can't make nice forever. Oh my god, Goliath is alive!
I'm not done with you yet. Goliath, you stubborn worm!
Uh-oh.
What?
Well, that saves me the trouble, I suppose. Though I am slightly unsatisfied. I really wanted to kill her myself. Let me guess, now the stank's gonna be out of your nose and you're ready for a real fight. Maybe now it can concentrate on the fight. Alright, Dekumon, give it everything you've got. Yeah, the music's changed. Round 2. Kept his life bar where it was though, which is nice. And I even got a recharge on all my skills. I see. Stompy stomps! Get back here. You damn stompy stomps, get back here. There you go. Stop moving around. Thought so. Figured he'd go right into knocking out the other two. I don't like that. I'm gonna stay right here. It seems safer to not be anywhere near those wings. Oh. Okay, that was just a whole room wide. Come on, get us up! Oh, fuck. That's not good, that's not good, that's not good! We'll be down to the count before the thing goes off. Oh, he stopped it, good. Thanks, buddy! Whew. Oh, go for the wings, you say? I can do that. Those damn wings again. I don't have a target here. Oh, there we are. Fine, dragon install time. All right, one down. There we go. Both wings are down. Oh, your little screech thinks it worries me. He's barely got anything left in the tank here. And I got another dragon install. He almost got that off. But almost doesn't quite cut it, sir. Good friggin' night. There. I bagged me another Vidraal. Chuck your sword at it just to be sure. Right in the eye. Come on. O restless beast, may you find peace in death. As the serpent sheds its skin, relinquish this husk, that you may rise again to greet a new dawn. Prayer for the beastie, eh? Innocent stork genuinely believed that she could bend such a creature to her will. That arrogance cost her her life. And me my frickin' vengeance. She never understood what she was dealing with, or afforded it proper respect. She took her superiority for granted, but the power she wielded to flaunt the laws of men was powerless against the natural order. Goliath, Dekumon, thank you for everything. was a damn sight harder than I reckoned it'd be, but I finally avenged my brother-in-arms and fulfilled my duty. I can once again hold my head high. Nice. This is gonna be a long episode. I am not getting this one out tomorrow, I think. Which sucks, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Ixuk might be dead, but we've still got a loose end or two to tie up. You haven't told us yet why you led us on merry chase for innocent stork. May as well come clean now. Not that it really matters.
Well, when I was a young child, my merchant parents were slain by a wild creature on their travels. I meant what I said at Folgord when I told you I swore to save others from a similar fate. That's why I joined the Twin Adders.
Okay. A commendable motivation.
And then I met Innocent Stork, who explained with great enthusiasm that she shared my desire to protect others by bringing these beasts to heal. I thought I had found a kindred spirit.
Let me guess, she's the one that let the beastie loose that killed your parents.
But I later realized she'd fed me nothing but lies. She used me to obtain information collected by the Twin Adders, and all for the sake of identifying potential additions to her menagerie. I disclosed all manner of sensitive intelligence to her, believing it was in furtherance of her efforts to save lives. By the time I learned of her true intentions, it was too late. I confronted her, told her that I was going to inform my superiors. She smiled and laughed and said she would unleash her fiends upon Gridania if I spoke a word, with some of her finest reserved specifically for my family.
I'm guessing it was Innocent Stork's idea to have you join the investigation into Ixuk Zumanj.
It was, but there's no excuse for what I did. Allowing myself to become her pawn has led to so much needless suffering. Nothing I can say or do will ever be enough to earn your forgiveness. Whatever punishment awaits me, I shall accept it gladly.
You'll have to talk to the Adders about that. I'm not in the mood for punishing someone who is basically a pawn. I'd rather have the king. Well, Dekumon, what do you think?
I think you should decide, Keshua.
We'd better hand him over to the Twin Adders. Honestly, I think after we explain everything to them, they'll still be pretty lenient on him. I was thinking the same thing. It's up to them to decide his punishment, not us.
Quite right. I will request that my superiors meet us at Quarry Mill, where I shall give a full account.
And we will back you up. It's settled then. Meet us there when you're ready. I'll be there shortly. Along with, I'm guessing, the end of this quest. I was right, this is the turn-in.
As a soldier of the Twin Adders, your actions are inexcusable. Once I have made my report, expulsion will be the least of your worries. There will likely be a trial.
Now hold on, there's some extenuating circumstances here you need to know about. Where I come from, we don't take kindly to liars neither. Our word is our bond, and the violation of that trust demands punishment. But I will say this. The lies he told were to protect the people of Gridania. Not only that, the actions he took contributed directly to the defeat and death of Ixuk Zumanj. I won't say the end justifies the means, but it's not nothing. Come on, give him a little leniency at least.
Duly noted. Though I trust you understand that this consideration may not change the outcome.
Yes, sir. Ain't my place to tell you folks how to handle your business. I'm just a simple man who crossed the salt to kill a Vidraal. But if Goliath isn't stuck in a cell for the foreseeable future, I got something he can help me with. You see, now that my business here is concluded, it's high time I made my way home. Trouble is, Passion's back is more than I can presently afford. I'm gonna need to put in some work, and I reckon Goliath can help me find clients in need of a Viper's skills.
Aww. For a simple man who knows better than to tell us how to handle our business, you've struck upon an intriguing solution.
Well, I have spent a fair bit of time in the company of a silver-tongued someone. Silver-tongued and says nothing.
Goliath, your conduct cannot easily be forgiven. Even so, it must be acknowledged that you played a vital role in the slaying of Ixukzumanj. Swear to never again stray from the path of righteousness, and no charges will be brought against you. Moreover, I will accept your voluntary resignation, as you did previously request. With this arrangement, you may yet pursue your dream of defending the innocent from nature's most deadly threats, in your capacity as Ketchwa's assistant. What say you?
Aww. Can't be an adder, but it does work out.
I shall do as you ask, you have my word. Though I will bear the shame of my misdeeds as long as I live, I shall endeavor to redeem myself through service to the people.
You can start by finding me some beasties to slay. Maybe an umbrella, it's freaking raining out here. Well, it seems like I'll be sticking around Eorzea a while longer. In the meantime, you're sure to find clients of your own. I reckon this continent's more than big enough for the both of us. Wherever there are folks in need of a viper, that's where we'll be. Mm-hmm. And interestingly, like, a lot of the more modern quest lines don't have any skills or anything. I saw that nod. They don't have any skills locked behind the quest lines. You basically just do this for the story and for the fun of it. There's no requirement to do this, although it is nice experience for when you're leveling to try and get up to, you know, basically doing Dawn Trail. Which is what I did for the Viper, if I remember. And with that, we are done. Viper's in the history books, the nods have been recorded, and it'll be time for me to move on. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, and subscribe to join me for more Eorzean job listings, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.